let's get into our instant match reaction. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 1 in the K-Tak Stadium in Hong Kong. To be honest, I thought it was a really good performance today. Really good from a defensive standpoint, something that we haven't seen us be so resolute for so long now. You kind of look back at the Frankfurt game, the Manchester United game, we looked resolute in those games, but against Premier League opposition, even against Manchester United, we didn't look as resolute as we did today in the Europa League final. I thought Arsenal were struggling to get through us on a number of occasions, and I think the amount of clear-cut chances and shots they had on goal was kind of clear evidence of that. And it was just so refreshing to see, isn't it? Like a team sitting compact, very narrow, and just being really hard to play against.
Yeah, it was really good. I said from the moment they started playing, I wanted to see structure, and that's what I saw pretty much throughout the majority of that game. Players were in their position. They were marking their areas. They were defending as a team, trying to attack as a team. Yes, the attack still needs work on. I think we know we need more quality in the attack and more training on that. But he's only been here a couple of weeks, so to see that what we've seen already, for me, the biggest thing was the set pieces. Like, I swear to God, today I didn't feel not once threatened by set pieces. You know, like as a Tottenham fan, especially under Ange the last 2 years, we feel so nervous when we get a set piece against us. Yeah. Today I felt like we were like a rock. We were like a wall. Like nothing would get through it. And yeah, and even offensively, we hit the post twice from corners. So that's what surprised me the most. And I think you're starting to see him implement his style and his philosophy onto the team. And it's not I know it's a friendly, right? But you can tell both teams really wanted it. Look how upset he was at the end of the game. Crying Arteta's the best thing to see.
Stop crying, Arteta.
So to see that man cry, and then you know it hurts him. Like it hurts him. So he was playing for pride, and so was Thomas Frank. And the boys in white won today, so I can't complain.
And I think it was a well-deserved victory as well.
Definitely.
I think particularly in the first half, we were resolute defensively, and I think they were having problems containing us, particularly Mohamed Kudus and Wilson Odobert out on the flanks. I mean, Kudus, he's just so strong. I thought Lewis Skelly was having such a difficult time against him. When he's got his back to Skelly and he's just looking to get the ball and twist and turn, quick 1-2s, direct play, aggressive play. I really like what I've seen from Mohamed Kudus so far. We haven't seen him being a goal threat too much as of yet, but his gameplay outside of it with his direct kind of running, it's really hard to get the ball off him, and his off-the-ball work as well, I think very tenacious. I love what I saw from him. And Wilson Odobert, I think that many people kind of forgot about Odobert over the course of the summer, saying, bring in a winger. Nobody's really counting Odobert. But I think in the 2 pre-season games that we've played so far, he's looked like a handful and really dangerous.
He's looked good. I think overall, I think Kudus, I said it earlier on, I think Kudus is going to be a player when he's playing with the best Spurs boys around him. And I think you can see just the way he plays. He wants more intelligent footballers around him. I think when Bergvall and him start connecting, maybe when he starts forming a bond with Porro, maybe Romero as well, if he's going to be here, which I think he'll be here this season, and Maddison, I think that's a big key. And also Solanke, I think it's going to be massive for us. Odobert, I like bits of what I see with him. For me, he lacks that again, I said it earlier, he lacks that instinctiveness in the final third. That he's like that hesitation. He pulls off the wrong thing. He does the hard work. He can beat a man, but he just lacks that final bit. And I'm hoping Frank's going to be able to coach that into him. But that we'll wait and see. He's a young player as well. Look, I saw more as a winger from Tell in that short period that Tell had than what I saw from Odobert today.
To be fair though, like Odobert, I thought he was looking really dangerous in terms of the first half. He was the one that he cut inside, had that shot, didn't he? That was just about blocked in it, and it went out for a corner. So I thought we saw quite a bit from Wilson Odobert today, and that follows on from his really good performance in the first half in the previous game as well.
I just want to see more from him. For someone like Odobert, with the ability he's got, I expect more from him. And I think if Frank can actually coach him the way that he's coached other players in the past, then I think he can be a really good player for us. But I was just, do you know what? I was just getting reminded. Odegaard reminds me not of the quality, but of that kind of Lucas Moura type, right? And I want to see Odegaard have that kind of ability in front of goal that Moura had, because Moura, he had, as much as he used to frustrate us, he could produce these unbelievable magic moments and some shots that you wouldn't believe come out from him. And I want to see some. I think he's got that in him. He's got that ability to get to that level.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, both of them put in really good displays. I thought Bentancur and Sarr were controlling that midfield really well, particularly Pape Matar Sarr. I mean, what a performance he put in today. Marauding up and down the pitch, winning the ball back time and time again. But Bentancur had that kind of little personal battle going on with Bukayo Saka at certain points during the game. What did you feel about Sarr and Bentancur kind of as that double pivot during the game?
I think it was pretty decent. I think what I liked from Bentancur was his aggressiveness today. It was very aggressive. He kept it moving, but Sarr, I think, all-round game was pretty good today. The goal as well was a really good goal.
You could say that again. Yeah. Really good goal. He bloody knocked it in from the halfway line.
Yeah, it was a classy finish. It was a class, and the technique was really good.
Channeling his inner Naeem, channeling his inner David Bentley, mate.
But he was. Do you know what? He was really good. He was really good with his defensive ability today. Even from set pieces as well. He did a couple of blocks, and I liked his all-round game. And I think he showed a bit more of what he can do. Again, with Pape Matar Sarr, I want to see that consistency. And I think last season was one of those seasons where it's really hard to judge the players. We know there's a lot of players that we need better quality, but it's hard to judge them because the whole squad as a collective weren't nowhere near at the level that they could play at, and that we have seen them play at, even in the first season on Ange. So it's going to be interesting to see what Frank can do with them with his philosophy and style implemented onto these players.
Come on, Danny. I want to hear you get a bit more gas for that goal, man. That was one of the best goals.
Very good.
That was one of the best goals we have seen. I mean, you're talking about Harry Kane pre-season over the head of Chesney. You're talking about Jamie Donnelly, the way we've seen him do it for the under-21s. You're talking about Luca Williams-Barnett. You're talking about David Bentley. You're talking about Naeem. You know, these are the great goals that we've seen as a Spurs shirt. And, David Raya hits the ball out. Lewis Skelly picks up. Pape Matar Sarr absolutely bodies Skelly, wins the ball back. You have David Raya scrambling back to his goal, and it was a pinpoint finish into the back of the net. No chance for David Raya.
It was a class finish, but again, I'm going to bring you back down to reality, Ben, because I'm like the reality person here, right? I live in reality.
Reality? Yeah, that is the reality. That's Pape Sarr scored from the halfway line. That's the reality.
The reality was this is a friendly. And
No. This is no friendly. This is no friendly. Right? Any game against Arsenal is no friendly. There's no such thing as a friendly against Arsenal.
It doesn't affect us in any way apart from bragging rights. That's it.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Because at the end of the season, I want to see Tottenham do better than Arsenal. That's what I want to see. So I want those
fine,
players,
but we're talking about this game.
Yeah, I'm saying this game, of course, but I want to see Pape Sarr do that or play at the level he's playing right now in pre-season in competitive games when it means something.
That's all fine, but that doesn't take it away from being an absolute world-class goal.
It was a very good goal. Don't get me wrong, it was. But look, do that type of goal when the pressure's on you, when it's really competitive.
Yeah, that's fair enough, and we can't comment on that until that's actually happened. But all we know right now in this game, it's a good goal. Pape Sarr has scored from the halfway line against David Raya, who a lot of people consider as one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, it's a very good goal. But that's all I'm going to say about the goal, because I think it's a friendly, and we have to come back to reality a little bit.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not coming back to no reality. I am living in what I just saw right now, and that is Spurs 1, Arsenal 0, and Pape Matar Sarr has just not one in over David Raya's head from the halfway line. That's where I'm living right now, so I don't know about you. But anyway, Pape Sarr was absolutely brilliant today. He was my man the match. I think we kind of agreed, and I think we put out a poll on the watch long. Pape got a resounding vote for the man the match, and I think he's a player that can really cook under Thomas Frank. Energetic, helping out in defence so much. I thought he was such a physical presence in the middle of the park from us, driving us forward as well. Porro and Spence as well, I thought had really good games. Pedro Porro, from a defensive standpoint,
they both did,
helped out when Romero messed it up a little bit when he tried to play Declan Rice on goal with that header. got in front of him really well and cleared that. And I think Pedro Porro, a lot has been said about Pedro, about his defensive ability, but I think it was on show today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very good. He showed more of what he can do as a defender today. And I think you didn't see him really get up the pitch that often. Because we normally see Pedro Porro whipping in those balls. Maybe it's because we weren't playing like a Solanke who could we had a target man. I know Richarlison is, but you could see that both fullbacks weren't getting up like they would usually get up. But I think that's to the credit of the tactics of Frank and how he's like. Well, you can see that they wanted to win the game. And Spence, I said it to you earlier. Whenever I see Spence play, he looks so good as a left back. He looks better than Udogie at times. A lot of the times, especially defensively, I think he's a better defender than Udogie is as our left back.
Definitely a one-on-one defender, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But when I see him at right back, he doesn't play the same way. I said to you that it just looks like he concentrates far more when he's playing at left back because it's not his natural position. So he knows he has to focus because he doesn't want to mess up because that's the way he's playing. But credit to him, man, and I hope that this continues throughout the season. I want to see this. I want to see this in the important games. I want to see all of this, what we've seen today, in the games in the Premier League when we play Arsenal. This is what I want to see. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think for me, Pedro Porro has probably been our most consistent and best performer so far in pre-season. I think every single game, he's played 3 games now, and I think everyone has been standout.
And I want to say something, right? The fans I see saying they don't care if Pedro Porro goes. I think you don't watch Spurs because he is by far our most technically gifted player, and he's actually a good defender. And people forget that the system that we played under Ange did not suit him, and it exposed him so many times. But if you get a manager like Frank, who's going to coach the team in the right way, I think you'll see Porro even go up another level. I honestly believe that, especially from a defensive point of view.
Yeah, and I think already you're seeing him improve from that aspect. And I think Jed Spence as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Put in his top display so far of pre-season. I thought Bukayo Saka was struggling to get any spare change out of him. He was up against him, so aggressive against him, fouled him a couple of times as well. But Jed Spence was an absolute machine today.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Yeah, that's who I voted as my man of the match, but it was a close one between him and Sarr. I think it's exactly the Spence that we saw at the back end last season, where if he was kept playing when Ange decided to drop him when Udogie came back, I think he could have been the big contender for player of the season, to be honest.
Yeah. But look, it was just so refreshing to see us so kind of resolute at the back. Arsenal could hardly hurt us, and like you mentioned, like the corners that kept coming in, just no problems. Dealt with it with no problems, and they had a lot of corners today. They did. How many was it? They had 13 corners today. 13.
And for the team who's the best in the league at set pieces.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like last season, we would have seen at least like 5 of those going at 13.
How many times we played Arsenal home and away? I think we conceded 2 goals from corners.
Yeah.
Home and away.
Yeah.
It might have even been more. I can't remember, but I remember when we were at the home game, and we saw that goal, and we were like, and we knew it was coming, and it just went in, and you're like, oh my God. But yeah, no, I think it was really good. That's what impressed me the most. The set pieces.
I agree, and I felt like when Kudus went off, though, we did lose a bit of that edge going forward.
Definitely.
A bit because Kudus was giving them so much problems. They didn't really want to handle it. Lewis Skelly didn't really know how to handle Mohamed Kudus, and then when he did go off, I thought we did lose that edge a little bit.
Yeah.
We hit the woodwork 3 times today, twice from the corner, once from the Odebear shot as well. So I think we were definitely more than well within our rights to win that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we deserve to win. I think as an overall balance of play, I think you said it as well. It was like phases during that game. Like the first 10-15 minutes, Arsenal were more all over us, but we kept solid and we didn't concede a goal. And it wasn't like Arsenal were completely peppering us. It was quite solid. But they had some chances. And then we had most possession pretty much the majority of the game. And then right at the end again, they had another little spell. But for the vast majority of the game, we were more in control of that game than they were.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of expect that when all the subs start to come on, you kind of lose your rhythm a bit in the game. They brought on Jokeres, or Jokeres. Did they? I didn't see him on the pitch. Did they bring him on?
No, maybe they didn't actually. It might have been someone else. They brought on Zubimendi. They brought on a Trossard. They brought on some talented players. and they still couldn't get the goal.
Yeah.
And I think I'm excited to see what happens now. I just want to see some players come in. That's what I want to see now.
So look, brilliant to get the 1-0 win against Arsenal today. My favourite moment of the game, think back to Arsenal Spurs last time we played in a pre-season game when Højbjerg went up and squared up to Mikel Arteta. There was one class moment in the game. Pedro Porro is lining up a throw on. Arteta's standing kind of next to him, trying to stop him, the dirty tactics that Arsenal like to do. And Porro just goes, "Get out my way! What are you doing in my way?" And just pushes him back into the technical area. That was probably my second favourite moment of the game after the goal.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Love to see that. Arteta just needs to get back in his box, man.
He does, and the thing is, he does it. It always seems to be against Spurs, isn't it? He always likes to do it. But he did it to De Bruyne, he did it to Højbjerg, he did it to, again, Porro today. And every single time, all these players, they just push him out of the way because that's what he is. He's a pushover. He's a bottler. That's what he is. That's exactly what he is. Arteta is a bottler. He bottles everything. He bottles out of duels of people. He bottles Arsenal from winning the league. He bottler. And he's going to keep bottling all season. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be a joy to behold, my friends. Thomas Frank now 100% record in North London derbies, and it's already better than what Ange did. And I was saying as well during the game, like you saw Arsenal, particularly in the first half, they tried to play that ball over the top every time, ball over the top. If that was Ange as our manager and Ange with those setups, we probably would have been 3 or 4 down in the first half. But we dealt with it so well.
If that was Ange, we easily would have been like 3 or 4 down. Yeah. No doubt about it. You can see the difference that Frank is already starting to make on this team and make his mark.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people are actually kind of like dreading this game because of the way that we played in the first couple of pre-seasons. There's been a lot of negativity around because of the Morgan Gibbs-White situation and everything like that. But I think after today, I think it's probably lightened the mood a bit in the Spurs fan base. A nice little win in a North London derby. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, I mean, what more can we ask for? The only thing I'd say is it's never a boring day in the life of a Spurs fan.
Exactly. Once you give up all hope as a Tottenham fan, it all comes straight back. So Arsenal, get back in your holes. Bragging rights is ours for the day. Yes, I know it's just a pre-season game, and really in the grand scheme of things, it don't mean much. But the season the season hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, it's a lovely start to the weekend, right? To beat Arsenal and have the bragging rights for a little bit.
Yeah. So look, I think we'll leave it there. That is our instant match reaction. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 1.